Sir, I think we should start, sir. जब तक आप शुरू करेंगे तब तक लो.
Okay. 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 मैं स्टार्ट कर दूं?
सर 1 मिनट, थोड़ा सा मुझको भी. ग्रुप छोटा है लेकिन हमारे रिसोर्स पर्सन छोटे थोड़े हैं सर.
Keep it a very small one.
Yes, sir. Participants, on second day we have the second session, and today we have a very esteemed speaker as a resource person of Department of HRDC AMU, Professor Muhammad Masroor Alam Sahab. He did his MSc Geology in the Department of Geology, Aligarh Muslim University, NET, CSIR, UGC, GRF, SRF, and PhD from Aligarh Muslim University, and Research Associate ZHCET, MPhil, PhD, all he did in the field of sedimentology. Firstly, he joined Department of Geology as a lecturer in Department of Geology at Aligarh Muslim University, Aligarh. Then he switched over to the Department of Civil Engineering as a lecturer of engineering geology, became reader, associate professor, and professor in 2012. He is one of the youngest professor of Aligarh Muslim University. Participant Masroor Sahab developed an engineering geology course lab and started new course as a geoengineering of rocks and mosses, rocks engineering, apart from the basic course engineering geology. He taught many subjects, but his specialization is remote sensing, GIS, petroleum geology, exploration, and disaster management courses at different level, UG, PG, and other courses running in the department. Professor Masroor sir delivered various lectures on disaster management, environmental stress and strain, and various forums, especially UDC, HRDC, AMU, and other HRDC of India. His research interest is engineering geology, geoengineering. He is the department coordinator of BTech for NBA, got 5-year accreditation. Masroor sir completed a research project worth of rupees 5,88,000, awarded DST under Young Scientist Scheme during 2003 to 2006. He also worked on the program officer of NSS and warden of various hostels and halls in Aligarh Muslim University for the residential hostel of students. Presently, he is working as a part-time coordinator of NSS and geoengineering in 2013. As far as his publications are concerned, I will in very brief that sir has published 9 modules, 1 book titled Fundamentals of Engineering Geology and Engineering Geology of MHRD EPG Pathshala. Sir has published 16 international and 29 research papers in national journals. Apart from these, 32 papers were published in international and national journals and conferences. He also contributed in various journals of international level, like Chinese journals of Geochemistry, China, Himalaya Geology, Dehradun, Journal of Geological Science, India, Bangalore, Indian Minerals Geology Survey of India, Calcutta. These are the numbers of names. I don't want to mention over there. He was coordinator of Atal, FDF, and underground space utilization from 18 January 2022 to January 2001, awarded at AICT. Participant, with these words, this is a very brief introduction of our today's resource person. If you really wish to know much more about Professor Masroor Sahab, you can visit on the Civil Engineering Department, Aligarh Muslim University. You will find his detailed CV. Without any delay, I would like to invite to our today's esteemed speaker, Professor Masroor Alam Sahab, to speak on the topic climate change. The topic is already you have known. Sir, now mic over to you. Sir.
Thank you. Hopefully, I am audible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
A very good afternoon to all of you.
Participants, I will request again, be talkative, discuss with sir. Sir, I can assure you that sir lecture is very practical, very updated. You cannot find a lecture like him that he is day-to-day update his lecture. I'm really, sir, I learned from you that how you update your lecture. from
I
paper
have
cutting, from different
updated-
websites, from different
I have
materials,
updated it
and
today.
it gave me immense inspiration. थैंक यू वेरी मच सर. इसलिए मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा पार्टिसिपेंट से कि आप लोग जरूर सर की बातों को रिस्पॉन्ड करें. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
आज भी अपडेट किया है मैंने. थैंक यू आफ्ताब साहब फॉर गिविंग मी दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी एंड
थैंक यू सर.
introducing me. We all have in this field of academics, we are all teachers, and we have to move on from research and then teaching as a lecturer, then reader, or as assistant professor, associate professor, and professor. I have myself been at your position and have attended different orientation program, induction training program, refresher courses, and all. And all these courses have benefited us in one way or another. You see, the teacher is the first learner. The teacher is the first learner. If we don't learn, then we will not be able to keep ourselves updated with the subject in which we are. Plus, on other fields, which may be not directly related to our subject area, but we have to have an idea of other fields also. I am basically a geologist. I have started my teaching in Department of Geology, and my area was sedimentology. Means I have worked on rocks of sedimentary origin in Jaisalmer and Jodhpur area. Later on, I had shifted to Department of Civil Engineering, where there is a subject called engineering geology. Civil
यहाँ पे
engineer.
थोड़ा सा मैं सर एक इंटरवेंट कर रहा हूँ.
जी
मैं
जी
टीवी देख रहा सर, आप रीडर भी रहे हैं, एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर भी रहे हैं सर.
जी, तो जब टर्मिनोलॉजी चेंज हुई है,
ओके सर, यू आर इन दैट पीरियड ऑफ टाइम.
रीडर था, एंड all those readers who have completed 3 years as a reader, they were converted to associate professors.
Okay,
So
sir.
that's why I was reader as well as associate professor.
Thank you,
both.
sir. Thank you.
So my subject area is actually geology, but I have shifted to Department of Civil Engineering, where I am teaching engineering geology, because in civil engineering, it is all about construction. Civil engineering is all about construction, and the construction is done on soil, construction is done on rocks also. Especially when we go for construction of dams and reservoirs and tunnels or any underground structure, then the knowledge of geology is very important. So I have shifted, leaving my own research area to this subject of engineering geology, in which now I am dealing with the landslides and underground construction such as tunnels. Now, if you see the new education policy 2020, this new education policy has got sustainable development goals. It has set different sustainable development goals, and in one of these goals, SDG 4, it says that ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. So lifelong learning not only for the students, but also for us as a teachers. A teacher is defined as a boy who goes to school but never comes out. In this same National Education Policy 2020, it has been emphasized that we should have multidisciplinary and holistic education across the sciences, social sciences, arts, humanities, and sports for a multidisciplinary world in order to ensure that the unity and integrity of all knowledge takes place. When I saw your list of participants, it is a very comprehensive list with all names and college and affiliations and email numbers and phone numbers and whatnot, but it has not mentioned your subject area. It has not mentioned your subject area. But still, what I think that you are all from many different subject areas and from many different parts of India. and the majority is from northeastern states. What I have seen from your list, majority are from northeastern states. I had the opportunity to visit Sikkim last year, and very recently, just in last month, I got the opportunity to visit Assam and Meghalaya. Very beautiful places, very nice environment. Now, let's come to the very burning issue. I have asked few queries from you. Some of you have answered. The query is that do we really believe that climate change is taking place? Is this a news or fact? How many of you agree that climate change is there? And what exactly the climate change is? Now, extreme weather conditions which we are facing nowadays, that has been ascribed to the climate change. Not only in India, but all through the world. Now, if you can see, I have put some newspaper cuttings here, and I have also put the dates here of which date these newspapers are. I will deal with you through these newspaper cuttings. I am not going to lecture you on a very deep understanding of climate change and whatnot, which is an arena of scientists, and that too very high level of researches are going on. Just I am going to connect with you through the newspaper items and news items which we see daily. And from there we will try to understand that this problem of climate change is there. The very first time in 1896, Swedish chemist Svante Arrhenius, a very famous chemical scientist, predicted global warming. He said that there will be global warming. Why? Because we are burning a lot of coal. And due to burning of coal, we are releasing carbon dioxide, and carbon dioxide is a gas which will trap heat. So he predicted in 1896. In 1978, United States National Academy of Science, they have accepted it, that yes, there is a global warming. And then on February 2007, this uncertainty was removed by overall acceptance by the world body, that is United Nations, and it has instituted a group called as International Protocol for Climate Change, IPCC. So it was agreed by each and everyone that there is a global warming, and the other important issue was that this global warming is not natural, rather it is influenced by activities of human beings, that is, it is anthropogenic. But even if we do not want to blame ourselves, still there is a global warming. Global warming is a fact. It is no more a news. The issue is that is it due to the anthropogenic activities, human activities, or due to natural causes? That we have to see. What natural causes can result into global warming and what anthropogenic causes can result into the different kinds of global warming. Now you see, we have only one planet, that is the Earth, which is called as living planet because life is possible only on this planet. No other planet has got any kind of life over them. Now, why do we have life on this planet? Because of its position from the sun, that is distance from the sun, and the size of our planet, and the material of which it is made up of, which is controlling our density, and this density in turn, size and density in turn is controlling our force of gravity, Gurutvakarshana bal, that is gravity. 9.8 meter per second square. If you drop any item from sky, it will fall down and it will increase its velocity at the rate of 9.8 meter per second. So we have life on this planet because of overall temperature regime, which is in between plus 60 degree to minus 60 degree centigrade, which has resulted into presence of water in 3 states, that is solid, vapor and liquid state. Also, it holds an atmosphere in which we have almost 21% oxygen, 78% nitrogen, and in 1% we have other gases, including carbon dioxide, which is only 0.004%. Only 0.004%. So this is the only living planet, and we have to preserve it. We have to sustain it for the future generations to come, because it is the haven. The present day haven for all life forms is this very earth. Now, this earth system is made up of different spheres. We have different spheres, which is part and parcel of our whole earth system. The topmost is atmosphere. Then we have biosphere, in which we have all life, including human beings, animals, and plants. Then we have hydrosphere, which is a sphere of water, maybe in form of ice, maybe in form of rivers, oceans, lakes, or maybe in the form of water vapor. Then we have lithosphere, the ground over which we live. Lithosphere is technically defined as a layer which is almost 200 kilometers thick. Its maximum thickness can be 200 kilometers. It includes crust and little part of upper mantle. We have divided the earth into crust, mantle, and core. The crust is divided into upper crust and lower crust. Then mantle is divided into upper mantle and lower mantle. And then core is divided into outer core and inner core. Outer core is liquid, inner core is solid. The interaction between this inner and outer core gives us the magnetism. So even above atmosphere, we have a sphere which is called as magnetosphere. And this magnetosphere is actually enabling us to talk in this way, in this online mode. All radio, television, and electronic signals, they go up to the magnetosphere and then they come back. Magnetosphere does not allow these signals to go out of the earth. That's why it is enabling us to communicate. Below lithosphere, we have 800 kilometer thick layer of asthenosphere. Asthen means plastic. This layer is slightly plastic, means it can move if it is subjected to stresses or force. Remaining 5,371 kilometer is termed as barysphere. You will not find this term very commonly used. I have read somewhere, so I am using it. Barysphere, bary means very hot. So the innermost 5,371 kilometer is clubbed together, called barysphere, which will include inner core, outer core, and major part of the lower mantle. Now, the temperature as you go down the earth will increase by 25 degrees centigrade per kilometer. Average. It can vary from 5 to 50 degrees centigrade per kilometer, but average is 25 degrees centigrade per kilometer. Means if you go below the earth, every kilometer the temperature will rise by 25 degrees centigrade. That's why we are not able to explore directly the deep earth because of this issue. The interaction among these spheres creates our environment. What is environment? Environment is surrounding. Whatever is surrounding the humanity is its environment. So all these geospheres, they interact with each other to give us our environment. We have included one more sphere into this. This is a handiwork of human beings. That is built sphere. I have coined it as a built sphere, or you can also call this technological sphere or technosphere. This built sphere and technosphere is built sphere and technosphere is actually made at the cost of atmosphere, biosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere. We have polluted these spheres in making our built sphere. That is the issue. Civil engineering is all about construction, but when I start my class in second, third semester, I always say that civil engineering starts with destruction. So in fact, whatever we are building, it is at the cost of destructing something else. So climate change is change in overall temperature regime or wind pattern or what you call change in the wind system. All this can be called as climate change within a season. Not the summer, winter and rainy season. This change is not the climate change. This change is not the climate change. Climate change is that within a month, within a season, what is the overall temperature? Is it warming or is it cooling or is there a major change in the wind system? Now, this kind of climate change has already taken place many times throughout the history of the Earth. Earth has an age of almost 4,550 million years. 1 million years is equal to 10 lakh years. So Earth has changed its climate many times. For example, the Meghalaya, for example, in Meghalaya we have lot of coal beds where we have rat mining. The coal beds are indication of hot, humid, tropical climate. But actually Meghalaya is today in a cold climatic belt regime. Similarly, for example, Orissa. In Orissa, we have indication of glaciation. We have indication of glaciation in geological past. So the climate has kept on changing, but that change has taken millions and millions of years. But today, the change which we are facing in our climate is at the scale of 200 to 250 years. We have got direct record of temperature measurement of last 150 years. Direct measure means we have invented the thermometer and we have started recording the temperature. Before that, before the invention of thermometer, whatever record was made, it was made on the basis of some indirect evidences, which we also call proxy evidences. Now, for example, if you can see these newspaper cuttings, Roger Federer, when he lost match to John Millman in 2018, he said that there was an excessive heat in the arena. I could not bear this heat, and that's why I have lost. So somebody, if he is living in a region where the temperature is moderate or low, he will not be able to withstand the high temperature. Similarly, in 2019, a picture came that in Australia, people have made omelette in the sunlight. The temperature has soared more than 46 degrees, and people have started making omelette in the sunshine. This year in India, at many places, people have tried making egg in the heat, just to show that how much is the temperature. So a lot of extreme weather conditions are being recorded all through the globe. In 2019, in the month of February, in America, the temperature has gone down by minus 39 degrees centigrade. and at the same time in Australia, the temperature has gone up by more than 45 degrees centigrade. If you can see this picture, in this picture, the genes are standing alone without men or women inside it because they were got frozen. Pants freeze in St. Anthony Village, Minnesota. What is the effect of these excessive heat or cold? Cold becomes unbearable, but the heat not only becomes unbearable, it aids into the forest fire. And in California, the top picture is from California, where there is a forest fire raging from last 10 years. It could not be completely doused in last 10 years. 10 years have passed, more than 400 people have died, many numbers of houses have been razed to the ground because of, were gutted because of fire. And the lowermost picture is from Hawaii, where there was a forest fire just before last year that also resulted into death of more than 12 or 13 people. So the issue is this climate change, which is being observed, is it natural or anthropogenic? There are a lot of discussion and controversies that what kind of global warming we are having. We have direct and indirect evidences which has showed that overall the temperature has risen by almost 1.5 to 2 degree, and in between there were some events of global cooling also. For example, from 1880 to 1910 there was a cooling, and then in 1993 to 1995 there was a little bit of cooling. This has been shown with the help of this graph. You can see that we have three big global warming events. The last one, the graph shows the last one, which is still persisting, which was started somewhere in 1975, and this global warming, it is still increasing, and it is almost reaching to 2 degrees centigrade. But in between this, there was a little global cooling shown with this green color line, which I have just put in. And then there was a time somewhere between 1940 to 1970, the rise was slow as compared to the other events of rise which has taken place in the Earth's history. What causes this climate change? What natural cause can be the harbinger of this climate change? Whatever temperature we have on the Earth, it is actually from the solar heat. The solar energy which comes onto the Earth's surface from the sun, called as solar insolation, is the main cause of heat. Now, if this heat increases or decreases, accordingly, the temperature on the Earth's surface will increase or decrease. So, if something happens on the sun surface and there is a global warming or global cooling, then humanity cannot be blamed. But the problem is that as such, no evidence has been found which can tell us that global warming is because of solar insolation. Yes, there are sporadic events every year when there is a high solar activity which may have temporary effect on overall temperature. Now, this solar rays which comes on the ground as a short wave radiation, after hitting the Earth, they are converted into long wave radiation, and then it goes back into the atmosphere, into the space. Now, our atmosphere, which is rich in greenhouse gases, for example, H2O, मैं यहाँ पे 2 लगाना भूल गया हूँ, H2O, CO2, CH4, NO2 and SO2. I have forgotten putting 2 at different places. H2O, CO2, CH4, NO2, SO2, these are all greenhouse gases. Wherever you have 2, that means it is a greenhouse gas. Now, greenhouse gas, they trap the heat, and they are very important for us. If we remove all the greenhouse gas, the temperature will become minus 18 degrees centigrade on this earth. That means if we take the temperature almost 15 degree, average temperature of the earth, if we take 15 degree, it will become 33 degrees centigrade lower to minus 18 degrees centigrade. So greenhouse gases are essential, but only the limited amount. If we increase the amount, then there will be more heat trapment and there will be more global warming. So main cause of global warming has been given to excessive greenhouse gases, which are being emanated from different industrial and other activities of human beings. This is the diagram which shows that how solar insolation comes and then it goes back and it is trapped by CO2, N2O, H2O, CH4, SO2, etc., and warms us. Now, if we change the Earth's rotational axis, angle of Earth's rotational axis, you know, we have equator where sunlight falls directly, that's why it is heated most. We have poles where sunlight gets refracted, so we don't have much heat, that's why our poles are full of ice. But if we change the latitude and latitude by tilting the earth, then overall temperature system will change. So we can have overall change in the average temperature if we have tilting of the Earth's axis changed. No, it is now normally it is not easy to change Earth's rotational axis, which is at 21 degree, 22 degree, 21.5 degree. It has been said that 2004 tsunami of Indonesia and 2011 tsunami in Japan, which has resulted into movement of lot of water from one place to another, may have affected this solar heat, may have affected this Earth's axis, angle of Earth's axis, and this may have some effect on the global temperature. Similarly, as I have told you that we have sometimes the solar activity on the sun surface. The sun surface is actually having energy conversion from hydrogen to helium and then helium to hydrogen. When helium and hydrogen they split and then they again there is a reaction of fission and fusion. This causes the heat on the sun surface. Now sometimes this activity becomes very strong, very high, resulting into solar flares, resulting into development of solar flares, which even affect our magnetosphere and the communication which we have. So sometimes we can have solar sunspot activity, which may result into some change on the global temperature. Similarly, greenhouse gas production. If we increase greenhouse gas production, we will increase the greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. And if this increase takes place, overall temperature trapment will increase and overall temperature will increase. Now, this heat trapment by greenhouse gases in our atmosphere is taking place since the origin of the Earth, when lot of gases have came out from the Earth through volcanism and got trapped, which include nitrogen oxide, oxygen, and then other gases including carbon dioxide and CH4 and etc. Now, Earth's own thermal activity is slowing down. Earth's own activity inside the Earth is slowing down. Now we don't have that much of volcanism which we used to have in the past. So lesser amount of greenhouse gases are coming naturally out of the Earth system. But the anthropogenic activities by burning coal and fossil fuel, that is oil, that is diesel and petrol, we are actually we are actually releasing the carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and nitrogen oxide. Now, carbon dioxide, which is the most important gas, and CH4, carbon dioxide is being used up by plants and by ocean. By plants and by ocean. Now, oceans, they are absorbing carbon dioxide since time immemorial, and they convert carbon dioxide into calcium carbonate by different chemical process and make a rock called as limestone. Different organisms, they take this carbon dioxide to make their shell, calcium carbonate shell. But through time, ocean is becoming acidic and acidic. It is not able to absorb as much carbon dioxide as much it is supposed to absorb. This is because of ocean. This is causing ocean acidity, and ocean acidity is actually affecting the lesser amount of dissolution of carbon dioxide, and this results into more carbon dioxide in atmosphere. The other sink of carbon dioxide is plants and trees. You know that trees and plants are getting lesser and lesser in their number because of forest cut, because of forest fire, because of urbanization, because of infrastructure development. We are reducing our vegetation cover, and that's why the carbon dioxide acceptors are getting reduced, carbon dioxide producers are increasing. This is resulting into more carbon dioxide in greenhouse gases, and that is why more global warming. You can see the graph that with increasing acidity, the overall temperature of the ocean surface is also increasing. The problem is why we fear global warming. Why we fear global warming? We are fearing global warming because of the reason that when global warming takes place, all the ice will start melting. The ice at Antarctica, the ice at North Pole, the ice at mountains, the ice in hill valleys, they will all start melting, and this will increase the sea level. And when there is a sea level increase, there will be submergence and erosion of coastal areas and small islands which have their land only 2 to 3 meters above the mean sea level. So there are a lot of islands in Pacific Ocean which have started drowning underwater because of sea level rise. We are actually fearing the sea level rise because of ice melting. But most important thing which I would like to tell you that it is not only the melting of glacier is going to increase the sea level, simple warming will also increase the sea level. See the dark blue and the light blue, two colors at the bottommost part of the picture. This sea level rise is only because of warming. When you warm water, the volume of water increases. If you warm water in a utensil at your gas stove, the water will start spilling over because its volume increases with the heat. So simple heat, even if there is no melting of glacier, the simple increase in heat will cause the sea level rise. That is the problem. Now I am showing you a picture of 2013, which I have taken at Goa. You can see that what is being done here. What is being done here? The concrete tetrapods and concrete blocks have been put to stop coastal erosion. Why there is a coastal erosion? Because of sea level rise. Why there is a sea level rise? Because of global warming. Why there is a global warming? Because of increase of greenhouse gases. Which greenhouse gases has the maximum increase? Carbon dioxide. How you increase the carbon dioxide? By doing different kind of activities. We have carbon release, carbon dioxide footprint. So the main cause is production of carbon dioxide. Now, in construction of these concrete tetrapods and concrete blocks, there must have been lot of carbon dioxide release, starting from the mining of the limestone for making cement, mining of rocks for making aggregate, and then during construction of these concrete blocks and concrete tetrapods, and then its transportation and the laying. Everywhere there is a carbon dioxide footprint. So actually, we are trying to solve the problem because of carbon dioxide increase, and in solving the problem we are increasing more and more of carbon dioxide. So in fact, we have been caught up in a vicious circle. Now I am showing you a video. What this video exactly it is, what it is, if somebody can answer what this video shows. What this video shows, can anyone answer? Can anyone answer the video? What exactly it is?
Sir, this is movement of the continents, or
This is
maybe the
movement of
tectonic plates.
continents. Yes. So if you see, if tectonic plates are moving, so they are also changing their latitudes and longitudes. And by this analogy, they may also be changing their climatic belts. So there may be a change in overall average temperatures because these continents, they are moving. This picture which you are seeing, this has happened 65 million years before. This 15-second video, it tells you the Earth's plates movement 65 million years before. Even today, the plates are moving. Even today, the plates are moving at the rate of 5 to 10 centimeter per year. So in 200 years, all plates must have moved by 1 meter to 2 meter by the minimum speed which we have. Previously, it was not accepted. This theory of plate tectonics was started by Alfred Wegener as a theory of continental drift, which was rejected. But later on, in 1966, that was again accepted as a plate tectonic, theory of plate tectonics. Now we have measured the movement of each and every plate and the direction in which they are moving with the help of GPS. All continents have changed their latitudes. For example, we recognize any place by longitude and latitude. We have imaginary lines, latitude and longitude drawn perhaps 150 years back, but actually the real latitude and longitude is not the latitude, longitude which is being given. All the continents, they have shifted by 1 to 2 meters. That's why the problem of driverless cars. If we are trying to have a driverless cars are not successful because we give them GPS as per current latitude and longitude, but because of plate tectonic movements, all continents have changed their place, means they have different latitude and longitude, even by a matter of few seconds or few minutes. Few seconds, in fact. Now, what is the rate of movement of plates? 5 to 10 centimeter per year. How can we understand this? The growth of our nail. You see, I have put vote in 2007 in March, and then my nails are growing. I am cutting my nails, and by 15 June 2017, how much was left? So this is the rate with which plates are moving. We cannot see the plates movement. We cannot see the Earth's rotational axis, which is almost 1,660 km per hour. Earth is rotating on its axis at the rate of 1,660 km per hour, which brings day and night to us. And it is moving around the sun at the rate of 450 km per hour. But it is moving over the Earth as a tectonic plates at the rate of 5 to 10 to 15 to 20 centimeter per hour. There is a small joke. The teacher asked a student that Alam, tum geography sahi se nahi padh rahe ho. You are not studying your geography course properly. the student answers that I am not studying geography seriously because my father is saying that world geography is changing. So if it is changing, then what's the purpose to study them? We have a lot of direct data for measurement of temperature. We also had some data from past, informal data, collected by captains of the ship, sailors of the ship, newspaper, farmers. We have a lot of record of temperature from indirect sources. And that we have also included in our study to understand the process of global warming. For example, glacier length and thickness. We have thousands of glaciers. If glaciers are melting, their length will decrease and their thickness will decrease. So if we go on measuring our length of glaciers and thickness, that is called as glaciology is a subject, then we can have an understanding of global warming indirectly. If you can see in this picture, we have a huge rock block, very big size rock blocks in Norway perhaps or Switzerland, I am not remembering. This huge rock block does not match the rock of which it is made of. This does not match with the rocks in the surrounding area. The similar rock is present only 30 to 35 kilometers away from this place. How this rock has come here? The presence of this rock shows that glacier must have come up to this place and that glacier have brought this rock. These rocks are called as erratics. These rocks are called as erratics. The presence of erratics anywhere tells that glacier must have advanced up to this place. Now I have taken my own photograph at Sonmarg in 2010. You can see the lowermost huge rock block. This is also a erratic. And the rock which is present here, is not available in the surrounding area. And if you can see the valley, this valley is U-shaped valley. And you can see a lot of small glaciers also. The U-shaped valley means glacier must have flowed down through this valley. The U-shaped glaciers are made by, the U-shaped valleys are made by glaciers, while V-shaped valleys are made by rivers. So any U-shaped valley means glacier must have moved through this valley for some hundred and thousands of years. See the hilltop photograph at the same time in the same month, 1912, 1970, 2000, 2006. If you can see the ice cover is reducing year by year and decade by decade. So that is also an indication of global warming. Scientists have studied stalactites and stalagmites. These are the rock hangings which form due to the precipitation of calcium carbonate from the drip of waters falling from the roof of caves. These are called as stalactites if they are hanging from the roof. They are called as stalagmites if they are growing from the floor of the caves or rock caverns. The study of these oxygen, hydrogen, and carbon isotopes have suggested that overall stalactites and stalagmites suggest that there is a change in the temperature from last 1500 years to present. 1500 to 2500 years record has been worked out with the help of stalactite and stalagmite. Similarly, scientists have taken out ice cores from the glaciers and from the Antarctica. They have taken out ice cores from all over the world and they have dated them and they have analyzed the gases trapped as a bubbles in these ice cores. And they have worked out the overall composition of gas and they have found that in last 1 lakh years, carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxide, and sulfur dioxide has increased. So this is another evidence, and from this evidence, it has shown that from last 1600 years to 1850, the temperature has remained at one level, and then it has started increasing with some points of decrease at 1850, at 1900, and at 1975. If you can see the graph and the kinks in the graph towards lower side. Tree rings have also been studied for their carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen isotopes. The tree rings, they represent the annual growth. One light and one dark ring suggest 1 year. The lighter rings are thicker and darker rings are thinner. The thinner one are representing summer, and thinner one are representing winter, and thicker one are representing summer. So scientists have taken samples from different parts of the trees, from center to the outermost part, and they have dated them, and they have said that overall there is a increase in temperature from this data. Other scientists have also said that the increase in carbon dioxide and CH4 is taking place. They have collected data of 800 years, and in 800 years, the overall ups and downs were regular. But if you see from 0 point, just before 0 point, that last 50 years or so, the line has gone slightly vertically upward. Means that there is a sudden increase in carbon dioxide and CH4. The carbon dioxide has increased to double from 280 to 550 per part million. From 26 to 50 billion tons of carbon dioxide is added every year. By clubbing all the data, the climate scientist Mac Kittrick from Canada, he has given this graph by clubbing all the data, and then he said that the temperature has suddenly risen from almost 1950 to present day, just like a hockey stick. So this paper is famous as a hockey stick paper. So ultimately it has been proved that the maximum rise in the temperature has taken place with the industrialization, which started somewhere in 1850, and it is still continuing. So the main cause of global warming is not the nature, rather it is human beings, that is anthropogenic cause. ये सूरज की साजिश नहीं है, खुद ज़मी सेक रहे हैं हम. We cannot blame the sun for the heat, rather we have to blame ourselves. Why we fear climate change? Why to fear climate change? There are some obvious reasons and there are some less obvious reasons. The obvious reasons are global warming, that is, and then melting of ice, more runoff, loss of sweet water, increased desertification, more humidity, severe weather conditions, sea level rise, increase in agriculture produce. Greenhouses are made by agriculturists and botanists to trap carbon dioxide and little heat so that plants can grow faster. So with natural greenhouse effect, the vegetation will increase if we allow them to increase. Vegetal growth will increase if we allow them to increase. The less obvious fear is local to regional migrations. You must be seeing around you. Increase in certain diseases. You must be aware of the different diseases which have increased. Thermohaline conveyor. Ocean currents, they will change their movement. Ocean currents are because of temperature difference in the ocean water and salinity difference. That's why it is called as thermohaline conveyor. Haline is for salty water. This brings change in our weather system. You must have heard of El Nino and La Nina. It is actually the thermohaline conveyor. Changed agriculture pattern, crop failure, animal migration, ecological imbalances, and crop loss due to extreme weather. So we see in the newspapers, we see on the television that lot of natural disasters have started inflicting our earth more than often. May it be bitter cold, may it be JV cyclone, may it be excessive heat, may it be different kinds of cyclones, may it be flash floods, may it be um, flash floods in Himachal Pradesh, flash flood and landslides in Himachal Pradesh, Maharashtra, Uttarakhand. आज ही के न्यूज़पेपर में, it is today's newspaper 3/7/24. In Hindi paper, there is a one-page article, थोड़ी बारिश बड़ी मुसीबत. We were waiting for the rain from last few months. There was lot of heat, but the rain has come, but rain has come with lot of issues. थोड़ी बारिश बड़ी मुसीबत. We need rain, and when rain starts coming, then we face problem. Why? Because we have choked all the ways of surface water movement or runoff. We have seen just few months back, in the month of May, there was flood in Dubai. Why that flood was there? Because of many different reasons, some natural, some anthropogenic. And their very beautifully laid roads, very beautifully laid houses, they were all submerged in water. They had a biblical flooding in Dubai. Biblical flooding means a flood which has come at the time of Prophet Noah, when everything was submerged under water and only those people were saved who came into boat of Noah. So एक नूह ही नहीं जो हमें कश्ती में बिठा ले, वरना आसार तो मौजूद हैं तूफान के सारे. These floods, they are also like a flood of Noah, and we are helpless. We are helpless. At the same time, we are also facing excessive heat, which has resulting into forest fire. Is still up to few days back, there was forest fire in Uttarakhand, and we were not able to douse them. We were waiting only for the rain to come and douse these fires. So raging Uttarakhand wildfire disrupt normal life. It has come up to the Nainital. Where will the Uttarakhandi go? If this kind of forest fire comes every year, where people will go? There is no place for them to move. And at the same time, 2-hour torrential rain claims at least 20 lives in Telangana in the month of June. So see, within a country, we have both kind of situation, excessive heat and excessive rain. Now, what is being done? What is being done? The governments are worried. The international community is worried. The international organizations are worried at one hand, and then on the other hand, there is no worry also. People are releasing carbon dioxide as much as they were releasing in the past on the name of industrialization, on the name of development. So when in 2007 it was decided that yes, climate change is there, the climate conferences have started taking place way back from 1972. Many international conferences have taken place. A lot of scientists have come together. They have started discussing. And then we have a series of such conferences, starting from very famous Kyoto Climate Conference 1997. Then in 2000, 2001, there is a big list. I am just listing some important ones. 2011 Durban, 2012 Qatar, 2013, 14, 16, 17. Every year at one place or other place, we have climate conference to deliberate upon the issues and solutions. But the solution has not yet come. Despite these many conference of parties, despite these many IPCC conferences, no solution has yet come. In global warming, COP, Conference of Parties, actually stands for control or perish. Tell the truth. These conferences are taking place but the result is not coming up. The result is not coming up. We are behaving like ostrich. We are putting our head in the sand and we are thinking that we are safe from each and everything. The time is running out for the world. The time is running out for the world. Dishonesty and falsehood are the reasons why 3 decades of climate negotiations have achieved little. This is a statement by Greta Thunberg. Deafening noises and muted outcomes. We had COP28 in Dubai, and then we had a flood in Dubai. And what was the agreement? Still, we are just discussing that what to do. Beginning of the end of the fossil fuel era by laying the ground for a swift, just and equitable transition underpinned by deep emission cuts and scaled up finances. So this is called as, what is called as, if you can see, read this word, gobbledygook with mumbo jumbo. Gobbledygook with mumbo jumbo. We are coming with new and new words, new and new terminology. We are going to have 29th COP at Baku, and then so on and so on. But still, we have not been able to get any solution. We are into a very critical decade, and we are yet to reach an agreement that how can we reduce the temperature below 1.5 degrees centigrade. So the problem is the diplomatic fight between developed countries and underdeveloped countries. Underdeveloped countries, they are not going to relent on their industrialization pace and carbon dioxide emission. They are just saying that if we stop industrialization, our populace will not be able to come up with the populace world over. So this is the issue. China and India are being accused. China and India are being accused for this problem of China and India is being accused for there is some problem which is not changing. Just a minute, the slide is not changing. I will have to again upload. Yes. Why half degree is a big deal? You see the temperature has already risen from 1 to 1.25 to now it is being set 1.5. But the scientists and people are trying, the people in the field of climate change, they are trying to keep the temperature rise below 2 degrees centigrade. Because there will be a lot of effect of overall temperature rise from 1.5 to 2 degrees centigrade. Everything will increase. Everything will increase. 6% of insect, 8% of plants, and 4% of vertebrates will lose half their species if the temperature rises to 1.5 degrees centigrade. But if it is going to increase to 2 degrees centigrade, then in place of 6% of insects, it will be 18% of insects. 16% of plants and 8% of vertebrates will lose their half of the species. So with temperature rise from 1.5 to 2 degree, the effect will be manifold. So not only the plant and animal life, coral reef will affect, sea level will rise, crops failure will increase, ice will go off the earth, extreme heat conditions will persist more and more. At 1.5 degree, only 14% of population will be affected by extreme heat conditions. But if temperature goes to 2 degrees centigrade, 37% of population are going to be affected. Water scarcity will be here. So all these are issues which are due to climate change. But there is another issue. There is another issue, which one is a bigger issue? It's up to you. You can write your answer. Which is a bigger issue? Human-induced climate change or human-induced environmental disorders? Environmental disorders means pollution. Environmental disorders means pollution. Maybe water pollution, maybe air pollution, maybe solid waste pollution. Which is a bigger issue? I am throwing a question to you that which is a bigger issue? Climate change or environmental disorders? And environmental disorder means the pollution. Pollution which is very immediate to us. We can see pollution everywhere. We have pollution in our houses even. And because of this pollution, 100 people world over are dying every 30 minutes due to various diseases caused by environmental disorders. Lakhs of people in the world are threatened by new threats of diseases like Zika, Ebola, dengue, cancer, flu, diabetes, coronavirus. These diseases are attacking with much more lethality on human beings whose immune system is already compromised by adulteration and lack of physical activity. Polluted drinking water and atmosphere with no means of controls are taking toll on human life. According to the global burden of diseases, 138 people are dying per lakh people in India due to pollution. And if you can see this newspaper cutting which I have taken just last month, air pollution say daily 464 kids die. In 2021, in India, 169,400 boys or girls less than 5 years of age died. It's a very dreaded statistics. It is a very dreaded statistics. This is because of environmental disorder. Death by breath. If we cannot breathe the pure oxygen, we have to breathe with oxygen, with sulfur dioxide, with nitrogen oxide, with carbon dioxide, with methane, and with many other gases. So our lungs have got compromised. That's why during COVID, the maximum deaths were from the most developed or metropolitan cities. May it be Delhi, may it be Bombay, may it be any other big cities. Death by breath. See, the whole region around Delhi, national capital region, is highly polluted. So must be places around Bombay, so must be places around Madras, so must be places around Bangalore, so must be places around Hyderabad, so must be places around Kolkata. We are dying because of bad breath, and this bad breath is mainly due to the vehicular pollution and industrial pollution. If you go to Ghaziabad, you cannot breathe. The toxic smell is coming into your nose in Ghaziabad from the industries. 7 years ago or 10 years ago, everyone saw Delhi's air take a deadly U-turn, but no one did a thing. The pollution level have gone down. In our student days, we used to say that if you go to Delhi, don't wear white shirts because it will be blackened. I am talking of 1885 to 1995. But then CNG came, and because of CNG, the pollution level have gone down. But that CNG could not withstand in bringing the pollution level down, because of number of vehicles have increased many fold because of government policy of giving loan to buy vehicles. So if we want to help the automobile industry, that means we are indirectly allowing us to suffer. the number of vehicles have increased, and then even CNG could not do that. India has become capital of diabetes. Every one of 3 person is diabetic. Only those people are not diabetic who have not tested themselves. Only those people are not diabetic who have not tested themselves. In India, out of 10 most selling drugs, 5 drugs are of diabetes. This is 2016 statistics. This is 2016 statistics. And we are not concerned with what is happening around us. Nobody is thinking of, it has not become part of our polity that we should. Why do we have this much of diabetes? Do we eat very rich diet? Do we do less labor? Because I am from a district, Basti, which is in UP, Eastern UP, and my village is 35 kilometers from that small district with no industry. And then I have a village 35 kilometers away from the main city, and my farmer who does farming for me is diabetic. He is of my same age. So why it is so? What causing diabetes all over India? What could be the reason? Anthropogenic stresses. We are putting a lot of stress onto our earth system, and this is resulting into different deformity in the earth system. Population growth will affect food production and distribution. Water generation and waste generation and disposal will result into air, land, and water pollution. Indiscriminate resource exploitation will result into land degradation. Energy demand and carbon footprint will result into climate change. Infrastructure development will eat out our ecosystem, and we will go for loss of biodiversity. We have to decide what to do. Waste reduction and disposal. The biggest problem is waste. Different kind of waste, from household waste to municipal waste to medical waste to hazardous waste to industrial waste to nuclear waste and whatnot. The biggest problem is of waste disposal. And waste disposal is seen all around us. To curb that problem, 2014 Swachh Bharat Abhiyan was launched, which was actually extension of what you call another scheme which was going down at that time in 1999, started in 1999. The total sanitation campaign started in 1999. It was extended and Swachh Bharat Abhiyan was started, and 60,000 crore per year were given for this Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. But if you see the result around you, is there any Swachhta around you? Means we are still surrounded by garbage all around, and we are in fact drowned into the garbage. Lot of problem. Swachhta Bharat Abhiyan is tried to check for example, open defecation. In India, we had 48% of our population going for open defecation, which is thrice the Afghanistan and 5 times the Congo and 13 times the Brunei and 13 times the Bangladesh. This open defecation resulted into malnutrition and different kinds of diseases. For example, diarrhea and encephalitis. The states in India which have checked on open defecation has better health as compared to those states, Bihar and Orissa, which didn't check the open defecation, where there was a lot of issues of malnutrition, if you compare it with the Sikkim and Kerala. So what is important is more of proper system of sanitation. We need better sanitation as much we need food. The problem is, but how to do this? How to do this? We have created mountains of garbage. Ghazipur landfill site, Alsada landslide, Balsada landfill site in Delhi, Okhla landfill site, Ghazipur landfill site in Delhi. We have mountains of garbage, and they keep on failing. And when they fail, then we try to put garbage at some other place, and people start objecting that no, we'll not allow the garbage to throw around our villages. There is no place identified for proper disposal of garbage, and most of the landfill sites in India, they have overrun their age. If they were designed for 15 years, now they are into 30th year, and they need to be closed. But we are not able to close our old landfill sites because we don't have alternative place. So this is a big issue. If you can see this picture in 2017, statistics have come in Times of India that in Delhi from 2000 to 2015, the garbage has increased 2,075% times. Just imagine, 2,075% times. Bangalore 1,750 times. Hyderabad 155%. Mumbai 105%. Chennai 60%. Ahmedabad 48%. Kolkata 8.3%. Why Delhi and Bangalore? They are in 1,000 times. Perhaps more online buying. Online buying creates maximum of waste. And what to do for this waste? There is no space left. Disease caused by Meerut waste ground claims 22 lives. Should Meerut suffer to keep Ghaziabad clean? Move to dump neighboring cities trash invites public ire. The biggest problem is what to do. Are we a filthy nation? We do not bother where our waste go out once it is out of our houses. Urban India generates 68.8 billion tons of garbage. 6,000 tons plastic waste remain uncollected. India Today had a cover story in 1993, can we clean the mess? And then in 2014, again they have to do a cover story. Dirty nation. And perhaps they will do one more cover story in times to come. But nowadays, nobody is reading the magazine. This is Taj Mahal, and you can see the garbage in the foreground. It is Yamuna river bank. We are talking of cleaning our Yamuna. Once its bank is full of filth, how can you clean the Yamuna? And in the background, we have Taj Mahal, India's most important and paying tourist spot. As I have shown you that the 5 out of 10 drugs are of diabetes. Why do we have diabetes? A study came in Times of India in 2018 that bad air linked to diabetes, and India had greater risk study. Bad air means polluted air. Means this pollution in air is playing with our metabolism, and this is causing the diabetes. So actually the cause of diabetes is pollution. And you cannot stop pollution from migrating from one place to another, especially if it is an air pollution. So that's why it has gone into villages, to our farmer community who eat very raw food, and also they do a lot of labor, but still they are diabetic. Means air pollution. Air pollution. Parali. We burn parali. And people in Delhi start shouting that Punjab people and Haryana people and West UP people are burning parali. They are burning the parali to clean their field. They are not doing good thing. And they are not thinking that first of all they will be affected by themselves. If Delhi can be polluted by burning of parali in Punjab, why can't Punjab be affected? See the Sardarji who is taking his kids wrapped in the bed sheet to ward off the air pollution. What we have done? We have increased the level of pollution unit. Hawa mein zahar ke naye paimane. We are coming with air purifiers, household air purifiers for home, and also big, huge air purifying towers at different cities of Ahmedabad, Chandigarh, Delhi, and Bangalore, and whatnot. First create doom and then make boom. So this air pollution is actually being used for making profit. So we have to think. The issue is that where our garbage is going and where it is ending up. Garbage is a collector's item. Non-organic means all those things which is not going to rotten should not be thrown out every day. It should be kept in your house and should be put back to the municipal locations where they must be collecting all these inorganic wastage. So this is the major issue. Look like you need more feet rather than more shoes. Materialism has crept into our life. Previously, we used to have 1 or 2 pair of shoes. Today, we have more than 5 to 6 pair of shoes. Drinking water. Another big issue, pollution of drinking water. We are part of, our water system is a part of huge water cycle. Water moves from ocean, ice caps, groundwater, lakes, inland, seas, soil moisture, atmosphere, marshes. We have different percentages of water. Only 2.5% of water is fresh, which we can use. And this 2.5% water, 30% is in groundwater, and 0.26 and 0.04 and 0.03 is in atmosphere and lakes. The fresh potable water is a big issue which is coming up. In our universities, in our colleges, it is very common to irrigate fields. We should see that our fields are less irrigated, and if at all it is irrigated, it should be irrigated by sprinkling water, not by flooding of the lawns. Normally, we used to irrigate our fields by flooding. But that flooding is not good. Once the groundwater came out from the subsurface, it is lost forever. And it is very easy nowadays to buy water in the bottles. But 1 bottle of water which we use results into loss of 3 times the water which we are using. This is an Australian water bottle, and there is a card attached to it which says, do not waste water even if you were at a running spring. This is a prophet saying that do not waste water even if you are running a spring. In our university, we used to treat our sewer line waters. You can see the water has been treated. We have one water treatment plant which is running on electricity, and one we have created which is running on natural process. And you can see the result. So we university and colleges, we teachers have to take responsibility. This is our kitchen. This is my kitchen. We wash lot of utensils. Lot of water is getting wasted in washing of the utensils by our dai mamas. We don't know how much water we are spending in washing machines. Unlimited of water. And we all have RO system. And in this RO system, the wastewater which drains out actually inflicts a lot of loss. We have to collect that wastewater. These are my buckets in which I used to collect all the wastewater. And I use it for drinking, for flushing, for bathing, and for irrigating plants. All this pollution and all this global warming, they are going to have an effect on biodiversity. Biodiversity is very important. It should be preserved. Anthropogenic activities are resulting into a lot of loss of biodiversity. We have to think over it that we should not unnecessarily cut the trees and plants and grass and bushes, because all these are the home for different organisms and small creatures. We are losing a lot of life every year because of overuse of them. Similarly, I have to run fast. What could be the solution? From where the solution will come? Is it individual? Is it society? Is it state? Is it country? From where the solution will come? This is the biggest problem. What we can do? What we can do? We have number of days which are being observed for one way or another way to protect our earth. We should observe these days, and not only one day but all through the days. We should encourage our students to observe and to act to preserve our earth system in one way or another. Greta Thunberg, student from 9th and 10th class, she has started uh, climate protest. Every Friday in Sweden, there is a climate protest. In India, they have also started climate protest. So not only the protest will not do only, we have to act. There are people like David Buckle who have burned himself by putting oil onto him and by hitting the matchstick. That the world will die as I am dying, and he died because of the burn injuries. He was a legislator. So a lot of people are trying to impress upon that we should act. CSIR scientists ring in wrinkled Mondays to fight climate change. CSR scientists are saying that on Monday we will wear unpressed clothes. We will save electricity. IIT professor is wearing wrinkled clothes and he is assuring that everybody should. I have done the same thing in my last lecture. And what I say that we should extend the days of our drapery. जो कपड़ा हम सिर्फ एक दिन पहनते हैं उसको 2 दिन पहने और जो 2 दिन पहन सकते हैं उसको 3 दिन पहने. Let's not wash, let's not iron. Solar panels, they are coming in a big way as a solution. Solar panels, they are coming in a big way as a solution. Yes, it seems to be that it will solve some problem, but let's see that how much it solves and up to when it solves. This is a solar panel at our university. We have India's largest ground-mounted solar plant in our university in India. Apart from all our rooftops, we have this huge solar plant which we have in our university. So we have to see that what we can do as an individual. These are the graveyards of the cycle. You can see this is a graveyard of cycles left by the laborers who have come from Punjab and Haryana till Saharanpur so that they can go to their places during the COVID pandemic through by train arranged by the government. See, this is a instrument which is the most environment friendly instrument. In Copenhagen, Denmark, capital of Denmark, in Copenhagen, it has 6 lakh population and it has 6,50,000 cycles. So anyone can take any cycle and can go anywhere and left that cycle there and can take any other cycle and come back to his place. But in India, we, the teaching community and others, they have forgotten to use cycle. We have to save paper so that we can save tree. You can see the slips. This is called what you call these slips, comes out of ATM. We have to plant as many trees, as many plants as we can. We have to reform the cities. We can save paper by not giving homework. But yesterday evening, my kid says that I want print of this. Picture that is stop pollution. My teacher has said that you have to bring this in a color print. I had to rush to a printer and get the screen. Means to stop pollution, I have created pollution. To stop, so we teachers have to be very much aware that we should not ask our student something which is going to create pollution or which is going to leave some carbon dioxide as much as we can. This year into IPL in India, the dot balls, if you can see the two green circles, these are the dot balls. These dot balls have been replaced by what? Can anybody answer? I am left with only 5 or 6 small slides. Can anybody answer what these two dot balls have been replaced with?
With trees, sir.
With trees. Means they have pledged that they will be planting 500 trees for each dead ball. Each ball over which there was no run made. Not dead ball, but what you call this ball on which no run was made. Dot balls. Dot balls. So you see, things are moving. Things are moving, but not at the same pace as we are supposed to have. All this climate change, biodiversity, recession, COVID means diseases, they are all linked with each other. So one problem may cause another problem. Dear son, please go to the settings, display brightness and reduce it. Too hot to handle. I have not changed any settings. Please do not. Please go to your setting. Human beings से कह रहे हैं, please go to your setting. Increase number of trees, reduce carbon emission levels, reduce concrete jungles, increase number of lakes. Basically, switch to human mode from auto mode. This year, for the very first time, because of excessive heat, our municipal corporation has put huge green sheets over the different crossroads. See here. On 4 different roads at center point, they have put this green sheet so that we can have some shadow in the month of June. The temperature was soaring to almost 45 degrees. So this is the problem. Why we fear this global climate change? This may affect the humanity also. This may affect the humanity also. We have to see that how humanity will fight this climate change, because if this climate change overtakes our power, then there will be next extinction. Already 5 extinctions have taken place and the 6th extinction is in offing. 5 extinctions have taken place in which 80% to 95% of the life has been lost, and the 6th extinction is in offing, if not of human beings, but of different animals and creatures, plants and animals. They are moving towards different level of extinctions. A book written by Elizabeth Colbert, a book has come very recently which says that how to survive in the global warming period which is coming up. We have to plant as many trees as we can. We have to be very well aware of that. We have to put even a small blade of grass is giving you oxygen. But if you are putting plastic flowers in your house, then it is not going to help you. Last 3 or 4 slides only. This is a picture which I have photographed at Fortis Escort Hospital, Delhi. My brother was admitted there. I got this picture. What this picture wants to say? Can anybody tell what this picture wants to say? What this picture wants to say? Any answer? This is a huge painting in this hospital. What this wants to say? Yes, Santana.
To us,
Yeah.
give us oxygen.
It is trying to give message that plant more trees because it will give you oxygen and it will help your lungs. But in the same hospital, they have put plastic plants in a beautiful gamlas. See, this is the paradox we are living in. We are talking in different way and we are doing in different way. Same Fortis Hospital has put these plastic plants inside. What is the need? They could have had the real plants which can be grown in shadow. Similarly, if you can see this picture, this is from Aligarh. Nowadays, we are hearing a lot of smart cities. Smart cities. We don't need smart cities. We need smart people. Green Aligarh, clean Aligarh. And this is the commissioner's house over which plastic grass are being put on the walls. These are the plastic flowers and plastic grass on the walls of commissioner at Aligarh. If a thela wala sells vegetable or fruit in plastic bag, he is fine. But
Sir,
you can see
sorry
plastic.
to interrupt you, sir.
Yeah.
It's 7:38.
Yes. 2 slides. Only 2 slides. See the trees. See the trees in our campus. Ashoka trees are being cut, and then they lost their life. They are dried. Trees and plants being what you call were torn off by pedestrians, but in COVID and lockdown they became fresh and well grown. So if we allow the nature, then it will take out space for itself. We are not allowing nature to come up. घर के गुलदानों में शाहिद फूल होंगे कागजी और पर्दों पर प्रिंटेड तितलियां रह जाएंगी. There is a proverb called जान है तो जहान है. It's a very famous proverb. Now it has been converted to जहान है तो जहान है. जहान means world है तो life है. World ही नहीं रहेगा तो life नहीं रहेगी. This is the last. Our founder Sir Syed Ahmad Khan was lampooned. His cartoon came in 1881. Showing him that he is playing with snakes and what you call cactus and all those wild flowers and plants. And he was termed as Nachari Jogi. He was termed as Nachari Jogi. Means he was lampooned for his love towards wildlife. So we have to see that what is our position, how the world will survive in future. The teachers have got the biggest responsibility. Thank you. I have taken 10 minutes extra because the start eats out 10 minutes, so it takes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Participants, if you have any query, you can ask with sir. Sir, slide last की move नहीं की आपकी. 2-3 slide. भी क्रिकेट मैदान पे ही है.
Last slide थी ये.
क्रिकेट वाली लास्ट स्लाइड शो हो रही है जहां तक मेरे स्क्रीन पे आ रहा है.
अच्छा, मेरे स्क्रीन पे चेंज हो रही है.
अच्छा तो हो सकता है. मेरे नेटवर्क में कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो सकता है.
मैंने दूसरी स्क्रीन पे भी देख रहा हूँ ना मैं.
अच्छा.
I am observing it on the other screen also. So if you have any comment, please write down in message box, and you can always connect through email and all those. So if you have any message, you can write down, and thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. मुझे लगता है कि कोई सवाल नहीं है पार्टिसिपेंट्स का.
जी. अभी नेक्स्ट लेक्चर भी है क्या कोई? अब
नहीं, अब नहीं है सर. दिस इज लास्ट लेक्चर.
ओके.
थैंक यू वेरी मच सर.
ओके, थैंक यू.